I grew up poor. My grandpa raised me by collecting trash. I survived over 10 years of hard, lonely life. Then I took the high school entrance exam. I got first place in the whole city. My score crushed everyone else. The school set up an official media interview for me. The lights were bright. Microphones were shoved in my face from all sides. Everyone praised me. They said a poor kid made it big. They said I had a bright future. No one knew that this interview was where my previous life started to fall apart. Right when the cameras focused on me, the crowd split open. A wealthy couple in designer clothes pushed through everyone and walked up to me fast. They were my biological parents. The heads of the top wealthy family in the city, Mu Jinhong and Su Mannion. Freezing cold went through my whole body. The memory of dying in my past life came rushing back. It was as clear as if it happened yesterday. In my past life, I was clueless. I was timid. I craved love. After years of poverty, I desperately wanted family and a stable life. When my rich biological parents suddenly showed up and put on this tearful act of finding their lost son, I fell for it completely. I had no guard up. I thought I finally escaped the mud at the bottom. I thought I finally had family. I thought I had a safe place. But I never expected that it wasn't rescue. It was a carefully planned hell wrapped in luxury. The Mu family had already adopted a son, Mu Yangquan. He took my place and enjoyed years of wealth and status. There was also my twin sister, Mu Yulu. She was spoiled rotten since birth. She was arrogant and mean. From the moment I stepped into the Mu house, I was seen as an unwanted intruder. Mu Yangquan seemed gentle and polite on the outside. He looked like the perfect rich family heir. But behind closed doors, he was jealous and cruel. He was afraid I would take back what was mine. He was afraid his stolen life would fall apart. So he targeted me everywhere. He set me up. He used every dirty trick on me. Mu Yulu didn't even bother hiding her contempt. She looked down on me because I came from the streets. She called me poor and trash all the time. She crushed my dignity every chance she got. In my past life, I tried so hard to please them. I listened to everything. I studied hard. I thought if I was good enough and smart enough, they would treat me with some real care. But all I got in return was more exclusion, more false accusations, more framing. They stole my grades. They stole my achievements. They stole every opportunity one had. In the end, they tricked me into going to the seaside. They pushed me into the freezing deep water. They wanted to erase me completely. Right before I died, I struggled in the waves, choking on water. I saw those two siblings I once trusted standing on the shore, watching me with cold faces. They ruined my life. They changed the truth. Then they went back to Mu Jinhong and Su Mannion and lied. They said I was greedy. They said I stole money and ran away overseas. After that, my name was dirt. My biological parents hated me. No one mourned me when I died. No one paid respects at my grave. The hatred stayed deep in my bones. The pain of drowning was still fresh in my mind. Luckily, I was reborn. I came back to this exact moment. The media interview. There was no confusion in my eyes anymore. No longing. Only coldness and resolve. This time, I wouldn't be the meek boy begging for love. Everyone who owed me would pay. Everyone who hurt me would pay back 100 times. I didn't care about fake family love. Anyone who tried to control me or step on me, I would tear their masks off. I would flip their whole world over. The flash bulbs kept going off. The shutter sounds were non-stop. Countless cameras locked onto the scene in front of us. Su Mannion had red eyes. She looked like a grieving mother who finally found her child. She stepped forward fast and reached out to hug me tight. Her voice was shaky and full of emotion, perfectly performed. "My son! Mom finally found you! All these years, Mom has been so sorry!" Same words. Same face. Same act. Exactly like last time. In my past life, I was shocked by this sudden warmth. I was nervous, guilty, moved. All those feelings mixed together and made me follow them into the trap. But now, I only felt disgust. I moved my body to the side. Quick and clean. I dodged her hug completely. She didn't touch me at all. Su Mannion froze. Her arms hung in the air. The pain and shock on her face turned stiff. A flash of panic went through her eyes, one she didn't see coming. All the reporters started murmuring. Every camera turned. Some pointed at me. Some pointed at the embarrassed Mu couple. The mood got really tense, really fast. I looked up. My eyes were cold and sharp. I stared straight at these so-called biological parents. My voice was calm, but every word cut through the noise in the room. Sorry. I'm an orphan. No parents. No family. One sentence. It shattered their carefully staged emotional scene. Su Mannion's face went pale. Her eyes got redder. Tears fell instantly. She grabbed my wrist hard, tight enough to crush bone. Her voice was forced and pitiful. "How can you say that? I am your biological mother. Your father and I looked for you for over 10 years. Every day and night we thought about you. How can you not acknowledge us?" "Over 10 years?" I laughed lightly, with zero warmth in my eyes. I scanned all the cameras around me and asked openly. The Mu family has billions in assets. Your connections cover the whole city. If you really searched for your son for over 10 years, why has there never been a single missing person notice in this city? Why has the media never heard about the Mu family looking for a child? The whole room went silent. Every reporter smelled a huge story. They pushed their microphones closer. Their eyes were glowing. I didn't give the Mu couple any room to make excuses. My voice got harder. My logic piled up step by step. I kept pushing. You never showed up for over 10 years. You never searched. But right after I got first place in the city and the media reported on me, you rushed over to claim me. Is this really about finding your lost child, or do you want me to add glory to the Mu family? Do you need me as the perfect face for your rich family image? You already adopted Mu Yangquan to take my place. He enjoyed all the resources and life that should have been mine. Now that I'm succeeding, you show up to claim me. Tell me, how much sincerity is really in your so-called love? One question after another. Everyone hit the core. I gave no mercy. Mu Jinhong's face went completely dark. His mask as a refined businessman almost cracked. He never expected that a kid raised in poverty could be this sharp and this intense. He never expected to have their lies exposed in public like this, making the Mu family lose all face. He forced his anger down. He kept up a serious, pained look. He spoke heavily. "Son, you've misunderstood. We never stopped looking for leads all these years. But the clues were broken. We could never confirm where you were. We did not abandon you on purpose." "Oh, really?" My eyes stayed ice cold. I didn't back down an inch. "Then please, Mr. Mu, right here in front of all the media, show us the evidence of your over 10 years of searching. Let everyone see exactly where your so-called never stopped actually shows up." Mu Jinhong was stuck. He had nothing to say. All the build-up. All the sad stories. In front of hard facts, they fell apart completely. Public opinion flipped instantly. Under the cameras, the Moo couple looked fake, selfish, and desperate for good publicity. Su Manon was shaking and crying. She looked pitiful. But really, she was just trapped with no way out. I knew exactly where things stood. I knew when to stop pushing. But I also wouldn't back down. I was fully aware that at this stage, I had no power and no money. Going head-to-head with a top wealthy family would only hurt me. I could tear off their fake faces, but I couldn't burn every bridge. The Moo family's resources, connections, and platform were my fastest way to stand on my own feet and complete my revenge. In my past life, I was stupid. I sacrificed myself for bad people. This time, I would use their own power against them. I would go into their den, plan my whole move, and use their resources to tear everything down with my own hands. I looked at Mu Jinhong, whose face was dark with anger. I spoke calmly. I can go back to the Moo house with you. The two of them breathed out in relief. A flicker of hope crossed their eyes. But the next second, my words crushed that hope completely. I'm going back. Not to acknowledge family. Not to return to the clan. Only for the top education and good environment you promised. I won't accept your family love. I won't fit in with your family members. I won't be a decoration for the Moo family's image. From now on, I only want to study in peace. If anyone messes with me, I won't let it slide. If you can accept that, I'll go with you. If not, we go our separate ways from now on. Mu Jinhong's face shifted through several emotions. He was weighing the pros and cons. With all the media watching, he had no choice. He gritted his teeth and nodded. Fine. As long as you're willing to come home, we'll do it your way. This very public recognition drama ended with the Moo family humiliated and me taking full control. I got into the Moo family's luxury car. We drove toward the hillside villa area. Rows of private mansions, fancy gardens, luxury cars, and servants passed by. This was the extravagance I never had in my past life. It was also the cage that trapped me for years. The car pulled into the villa courtyard. The big doors opened slowly. The fancy living room came into view. Two young figures were already waiting in the middle of the hall. One guy, one girl. They looked refined and elegant. Their features were delicate. It was Mu Yangquan, who stole my life for over a decade. And my twin sister, Mu Yulu. Mu Yangquan wore a custom casual suit. His posture was straight. His smile was gentle and harmless. He looked like the perfect kind older brother. He stepped forward quickly and reached out his hand. His tone was soft and just right. Siheng, welcome home. From now on we're family. If anything feels off, just tell me anytime. The performance was flawless. If this were my past life, I would have been moved by this fake kindness. But I knew exactly what he was really like inside. Cruel. Selfish. I looked down and ignored his hand. I didn't move. My voice was cold and distant. No need for formalities. I don't need family. I don't need your care. Mu Yangquan's hand stopped in midair. His warm smile froze. A flash of embarrassment and anger passed through his eyes, quick but there. Then he forced it back into a gentle, understanding look. Mu Yulu couldn't hold it in anymore. Her face was full of arrogance and contempt. She looked me up and down, taking in my plain old clothes. She laughed mockingly. Brother, why are you so polite to him? He's so poor and country-looking. Everything about him screams low class. He doesn't deserve to be a Mu family heir. I don't know why Mom and Dad had to bring this backwoods hillbilly home. Blunt. Mean. Pure hatred with no filter. Sumanyan frowned and gave a weak scolding. Yulu, don't talk nonsense. He's your real brother. That warning was empty. There was no real weight behind it. There was even a hint of tolerance in her eyes. Over 10 years of favoritism had set deep roots. In their minds, Mu Yangquan was the good, obedient son. Mu Yulu was the cute, precious girl. And I was just an outsider who showed up suddenly and took resources away. I looked straight at Mu Yulu's arrogant face. I spoke calmly. I'm poor and country-like. That's my own life. I never bothered you. But if you come after me, I don't mind showing everyone what upper-class manners really look like. Mean and nasty. Mu Yulu choked. Her face turned red with anger. She screamed. You dare talk back to me? You bastard raised by a trash picker, and you have the nerve to talk back to me? I was raised by a trash picker. Openly, honestly, and with a clear conscience. My gaze was cold as I stared at her. You, on the other hand, grew up stealing someone else's life. You enjoyed things that were never yours. You're spoiled and cruel. Who's really the one with no class here? Mu Jinhong's face went dark. He yelled, Enough! You just got home and you're already fighting. What kind of behavior is that? He didn't blame Mu Yulu for her insults. He only blamed me for not keeping quiet and not backing down. These were my so-called biological parents. Their favoritism and double standards were on full display. I didn't bother arguing anymore. I went straight to the one thing that mattered most to them, the one thing they wouldn't dare compromise on. The only reason I came back is to study. My high school choice is already set. The city's top key high school. Best teachers, best resources, best environment. I'm not changing it. As soon as I said that, Mu Jinhong frowned. He brought up the exact same scheme from my past life. Sihan, your mother and I talked it over. Yulu is going into high school next year too. Why don't you transfer to the regular district school? Same school as your sister. Close to home. Easier for the family to take care of you. You can also study together with your sister. I laughed coldly inside. What a perfect plan. Throw me into a regular school. Cut me off from top education. Waste my talent and future. Slowly make me average so I could never threaten Mu Yangquan's position. And at the same time, they could call it family care and sibling companionship to look good in public. In my past life, I was clueless. I obeyed quietly. Step by step, they destroyed my future. And I ended up dead in the sea. This time, I would never make that mistake again. No way. My tone was firm. No room for negotiation. I got first place in the entire city. Going to a regular school would waste my talent and hurt the Mu family's reputation for raising good kids. Today, the media watched the whole recognition scene. The whole city knows the Mu family found their top-scoring son. If you then send me to a regular school, people will only think the Mu family is narrow-minded, afraid of their own blood, and deliberately holding me down. You've been in business for years, Mr. Mu. You care about reputation and benefits more than anything. You wouldn't do something this stupid, would you? Every word hit Mu Jinhong's weak spot. He cared most about face and profit. He wouldn't dare look like he was suppressing his top-scoring son with public opinion watching. Mu Jinhong's face went from pale to dark. I had him trapped with no comeback. Mu Yulu screamed angrily. Don't be so ungrateful. What's wrong with a regular school? We can all go there, so why can't you? You're just being difficult on purpose. You two are average, so regular schools fit you. I glanced at her coldly. I'm the city's top scorer. I'd belong in a top school. Different people, different matches. That's just common sense. If you want to be mediocre, don't drag me down with you. Mu Yangquan jumped in at the right moment. He pretended to mediate. His gentle voice hid his real intentions. Siheng, Mom and Dad mean well. Regular school has less pressure. It's more relaxed. You just got back. No need to be so tense. We're family. No need to be so serious. Good intentions shouldn't cost me my future. I cut him off directly. What I'm serious about is the life and resources that should be mine. Anyone who tries to take that away is my enemy. I was tough. I made my position clear. Everyone in the room now understood my limits. No one could push me around or scheme against me easily anymore. Mu Jinhong weighed his options for a long time. Finally, he gritted his teeth and gave in. Fine. You can go to the top key high school. But I'm warning you. Since you're staying in the Mu family, behave yourself. Don't pick fights and stir up trouble in this house. As long as no one bothers me, I'll study in peace. I replied calmly. This fight over school admission, I won completely. This was my first step in breaking their schemes. This was the start of my revenge. For the next half-month, I stayed at the Mu Villa temporarily. I saw clearly just how fake and two-faced these people were. The best south-facing master bedroom, private study, media room, and lounge all belonged to Mu Yangquan. Even though he did nothing and had average grades, he got the best of everything. Mu Yulu lived in a fancy princess room. She had everything she wanted. She spent money freely. She was showered with love and attention. As for me, I was put in a small renovated servant's room on the first floor. It was narrow, dark, and had terrible lighting. It was shabby beyond words. I was the real bloodline of the Mu family. But I lived like an outsider dependent on others' charity. They owed me over a decade of life. Yet they still favored others, stayed cold, and ignored everything about me. I stayed quiet. I never complained. I never argued. Every day I shut my door, did practice tests, and studied high school material ahead of time. I stayed silent and waited. My quietness made them think I was weak, obedient, and easy to control. Mu Yangquan grew more relaxed. He kept up his perfect young master act outside. In private, he tested me with small moves. He hid my exercise books. He deleted my study files. He tried to mess with my studying. Mu Yulu was even worse. She made sarcastic comments every day. She found ways to bother me everywhere. All her anger and jealousy toward me turned into pure meanness. Su Mannion always smoothed things over with weak excuses. Your sister is young. She doesn't know better. Just let it go. That was how she dismissed all the harm done to me. Mu Jinhong always looked away. He only cared about results and appearances. As long as I didn't cause a scene, he let them bully me however they wanted. I noted everything down silently. No fights. No complaints. No groveling. I didn't need to win arguments with words. I wanted total, crushing revenge that would leave them no way to recover. School started at the top key high school. With my strong foundation, I quickly became first in the grade. I crushed every top student in the school. I was unstoppable. My brilliance stung Mu Yulu's ego hard. She couldn't stand that a country bumpkin, who came back from nowhere, was beating her and her so-called amazing brother. Her hatred grew. It turned into something vicious. In the second week of school, after the rush hour ended, I deliberately took the quiet side gate to leave. 3 street thugs were already waiting there. They blocked the whole alley. The leader, a guy with dyed yellow hair, spoke in a lazy, threatening tone. "Hey! You're that top scorer the Move family just found, right? Someone paid us to teach you a lesson. Stay still and take the beating. Don't cause trouble." I felt nothing inside. I had expected this. In my past life, this same ambush caught me off guard. Those 3 beat me up. Afterward, Muyulu twisted the story and said I was the one picking fights outside of school. The whole Move family sided with her. They put all the blame on me. I suffered so much humiliation for nothing. This time, I was prepared. Before I left, I turned on my phone's recording and video. I hid the phone carefully. It captured everything, the whole conversation and all the actions. I was waiting for them to walk right into my trap. "Who hired you?" I asked calmly. "Shut up!" Another guy stepped forward to shove me. I moved to the side and dodged easily. My eyes swept over the 3 of them coldly. "Think about this carefully. If you lay a hand on me, I have video and audio proof. I'll hand it all over to the police. You'll be charged with assault and causing trouble. You'll have a criminal record. That will ruin your school, your jobs, your background checks, your whole future. The person who hired you is hiding behind the scenes. If something goes wrong, she walks away clean. You take all the blame and all the punishment. Is a few $1,000 worth throwing your entire life away?" The 3 of them panicked instantly. The violence in their eyes faded. They looked hesitant and scared. They were just small-time thugs looking for quick cash. They didn't dare pay the price of breaking the law. Just as they were about to back off and leave, Muyulu, who had been hiding at the corner watching, lost it. She couldn't help herself. She ran out screaming. "Don't leave! You took the money, so do the job! Hit him now! Or I won't pay you a single cent!" Her sharp voice. Her arrogant tone. All recorded clearly on my device. Solid evidence. No way to deny it. The second Muyulu finished speaking, her face went pale. Her whole body stiffened. She finally realized she just ruined herself. I put my phone away. My eyes were ice cold. Without any hesitation, I dialed the police. "Someone hired thugs to ambush and beat me. I have full evidence. Please send officers over." Muyulu completely panicked. She ran at me like a crazy person, trying to grab my phone. Her voice was shaky and begging. "Su Sihing! Don't call the police! I'm sorry! I just lost my temper. Let's settle this privately, please." "Settle privately?" I pushed her hand away. My tone was freezing. "You didn't think about settling privately when you were planning to hurt me. Now you're scared. Now you're backing down. You think you can just wipe it all away? Too late." The sirens got closer. Soon, the police arrived. The 3 thugs, Muyulu, and I were all taken to the station for statements. Inside the mediation room, Mu Jinhong and Su Manyun rushed over. The first thing they did when they walked in was protect Muyulu. They didn't ask what happened. They didn't care who was right or wrong. Su Manyun looked at her daughter with pity. Then she turned to me with a face full of blame. "Sihing, it's just a little family disagreement. Why did you have to drag it to the police station and let outsiders laugh at us? Your sister is young. She was just being impulsive. Can't you, as her brother, be more understanding?" "Little disagreement?" I looked up and played the recording out loud. The clear sound filled the whole mediation room. "Hiring people to ambush and beat a family member is a little disagreement. If I hadn't gathered evidence beforehand and prepared myself, I'd be in the hospital right now. Would you still call it a little disagreement then? The recording finished. The room was dead silent. The three thugs confessed fully. Mu Yulu contacted them herself. She promised them money. She told them to ambush and beat me. Witnesses, evidence, confessions. Everything lined up. No room for denial. Mu Yulu completely broke down. She cried and lied. No! They're lying! They're framing me! He set me up! Whether it's a setup or not, the police will decide. I didn't bother wasting words on her. Mu Jinhong's face was dark as thunder. He knew how serious this was. If this went through as a public security case, Mu Yulu would have a criminal record for life. That would ruin her future. School, government jobs, employment, background checks, everything would be blocked. He pulled me outside alone. He dropped all his pride and negotiated in a low voice. Siheng, Dad knows you've been wrong. Yulu was wrong. We're willing to compensate you and apologize. Name your terms. As long as you drop the case, we can work it out. I looked at him, begging and compromising like this. I felt nothing inside. In my past life, he never gave me any support or fairness. His compromise now was just a calculated trade. I spoke directly. My tone was clear and sharp. 3 million. Transfer it all to my personal bank account. I have full control over it. The Mu family has no say in how I use it. Once the money arrives, I'll sign the settlement and drop the case. I'm keeping all the evidence permanently. If she ever tries to hurt me again, we'll settle both old and new scores together. Mu Jinhong's pupils shrank. His face turned dark. 3 million? That's extortion. You're taking advantage of a crisis. 3 million for her future. 3 million for the Mu family's reputation. That's not expensive. I stared straight at him. Either pay up and settle. Save Mu Yulu and save the Mu family's face. Or let the law handle it, and we all go down together. Your choice. He stared back at me. His chest heaved with anger. He was furious but had nowhere to put it. He knew I meant what I said. After a few minutes of standoff, he finally gritted his teeth and agreed. Fine. I'll do it. The money will be in your account tomorrow. This standoff, I won completely. I got my first real bargaining chip from the Mu family. And I exposed their fake favoritism for good. The next day, the full 3 million arrived in my account. I didn't hesitate at all. I told the Mu family I was going back to my hometown to bury my grandpa. Grandpa was the only light in my life. The only warmth and rescue in those dark, poor years. He was kind his whole life. He worked hard. He was honest. He collected trash to raise me. He never spent on himself. He gave me the best he had. In my past life, I died far away. I never even got to visit his grave. That was my biggest regret. The car drove back to the countryside. Old village. Muddy roads. Run-down dirt houses. Everywhere had traces of Grandpa. The cemetery on the hill was overgrown with weeds. Grandpa's gravestone was old and worn. It stood alone among the hills. I sent the driver away. I walked up alone. I pulled out the weeds by hand. I swept away the dead leaves and dust. I set out incense and offerings. The wind blew through the trees, making a rustling sound. It felt like Grandpa's gentle reply. I knelt in front of the grave. My voice was calm and warm. No sobbing. Just the peace I hadn't felt in a long time. Grandpa, I made it. I got first place in the city. I came back. In the past, when people bullied me, I just took it. Now I've grown up. I can protect myself. No one can step on me or push me around anymore. Everyone who owed me, everyone who hurt me, I'll get back from them one by one. Don't worry. I won't let anyone push me around anymore. I won't wrong myself anymore. You used to protect me. From now on, I'll hold up my own sky. I used my savings to hire a trustworthy villager to fix up the grave and reinforce the mound. I cleaned up the whole cemetery. I asked him to pay respects on important days on my behalf. After all that, I said goodbye to my timid, weak past self. I said goodbye to the muddy, poor years of my old life. I was no longer the helpless orphan everyone could bully. I had money. I had evidence. I had the foundation to turn everything around. After I came back from the countryside, I made my stance clear. I officially asked to move out of the Moo house. I wanted to rent a place near school and study alone. At dinner, the moment I announced my decision, the whole room went dead quiet. Mu Jinhong slammed the table in anger. You just came home and now you want to move out. What will people say? They'll say the Mu family treated their own son badly. Are you trying to destroy our reputation on purpose? Reputation is earned, not forced by keeping me locked up. I looked back at him calmly. Every day in this house is full of conflict and schemes. There's no peaceful place to study. If I move out, I'll cover all my own costs. I won't take a cent from the Mu family. I won't bother anyone. No interference, no conflict. It's good for everyone. Su Mannion quickly tried to persuade me softly. She played the emotional card. Sihun, there are servants at home. You have everything you need. You don't have to worry about anything. Why go out and suffer? Mom really means well for you. Mean well for me. I saw through her act. If you really meant well, you wouldn't let your children hurt me again and again. My voice was flat. What I want is peace. Not fake kindness. Mu Yangquan jumped in again with his fake concern. He was gentle and proper. Sihing, don't be impulsive. We're all family. We just need time to get used to each other. There's no need to move out. No need to adjust. I rejected him directly. Different paths, different people. No point forcing it. Everyone could see I wasn't backing down. No room to negotiate. Mu Jinhong was worried about the evidence I held. He was scared I would expose all their dirty secrets if pushed too far. In the end, he had no choice but to give in. Soon, I rented a 2-bedroom place near the school. Good sunlight. Quiet environment. I was finally free from that suffocating Mu family cage. Living alone was peaceful. No one bothered me. No one schemed against me. I put all my energy into studying. My grades stayed first in the school. I left everyone far behind. On my birthday, I was alone. I boiled 2 eggs. I took a simple photo of my day. I posted a short update. No sob story. No complaints. Just my own quiet ritual. But that post got screenshotted and spread fast online. The city's top scorer got claimed by a wealthy family, but he lived alone in a rental. On his birthday, no one cared. He was all alone. Meanwhile, the Mu family threw lavish parties every day for their adopted son and precious daughter. Netizens pieced together old bits of news. The interview recognition. The police station ambush incident. The outrage exploded. It hit local trending topics. Hashtag Mu family treats son badly. Hashtag Muyulu hired thugs to beat brother. Hashtag fake rich family love. Several hashtags went viral one after another. People online slammed the Mu family hard. They questioned their coldness, favoritism, and deliberate suppression of their own blood. They called them fake and hypocritical. The Mu family's business reputation tanked. Stock prices dropped continuously. Business partners pulled back and waited. Their brand image was completely ruined. Mu Jinhong was furious. He called me and yelled, accusing me of intentionally stirring up public opinion to destroy the Mu family. My tone was calm. No emotion. I was just recording my own life. What destroyed the Mu family was never my post. It was your years of favoritism, carelessness, and wrongdoing. I hung up. I didn't want to hear more. The public backlash was just a side effect. The real killer move was still coming. The city held a national high school literature competition. The first prize winner would get direct admission to a top 985 university's humanities program. It was a huge deal. Every top student was fighting for it. I worked on my piece for 2 weeks. I put all my effort into it. I wrote a high-quality novella. I kept all the drafts, edit histories, cloud timestamps, and original versions. Every piece of creative evidence was fully documented. No holes. Earlier, Mu Yangquan had come to my rental under the pretense of bringing me materials. He was checking out my study progress and my creative work. I was ready. I had installed hidden cameras inside the apartment. They recorded everything. I was waiting for him to walk into the trap. Right before the contest deadline, Mu Yangquan did exactly what I expected. He snuck into my rental when no one was there. He unlocked my computer. He copied my entire manuscript. Then he deleted the original files from my desktop. He tried to erase my work and claim it as his own. He thought he was so clever. He thought he pulled off the same dirty trick from my past life. In my past life, he stole my work and got the admission slot. He became the golden boy with a bright future. Meanwhile, I was accused of plagiarism. My name was ruined. My future was destroyed. I died in the ocean. This time, every single one of his dirty moves was recorded. Solid evidence. No way to deny it. The preliminary results came out. Mu Yangquan made the shortlist with my stolen piece. His name blew up. Everyone called him a genius and a rising literary star. The Mu family was overjoyed. They treated him like the family pride. They threw a fancy banquet. They invited business elites, friends, and relatives. They even invited several competition judges. They hyped him up like crazy. At the banquet, everyone surrounded Mu Yangquan with praise. They called him talented and destined for greatness. They were sure he would get the admission slot. They said his future was unlimited. Mu Yangquan stood in the middle of the crowd. He was confident and radiant. He soaked up all the attention. His eyes were full of pride and arrogance. He looked over at me in the corner. His gaze was a clear challenge. A show-off. Like he was silently saying he had taken everything from me again. Mu Jinhong and Su Manin were beaming with pride the whole time. Their eyes were full of love and favoritism for this adopted son who had stolen someone else's life. The whole room was loud and lively. Everyone celebrated Mu Yangquan's moment of glory. No one knew that a final blow, one that would flip everything, was already in place. At the peak of the banquet, Mu Jinhong stood up with his glass. He was about to announce that Mu Yangquan had secured the top university admission. I stepped out slowly. I signaled to the event staff. The next second, the huge LED screen in the banquet hall switched. Clear surveillance footage. Uncut. Unblocked. It played in full view of everyone. On the screen, Mu Yangquan crept into my rental. He looked around to make sure no one was there. He unlocked the computer smoothly. He copied the file. He deleted the original. He cleared the access logs. Every move, every detail, was crystal clear. The loud, flashy banquet hall went completely silent. All the compliments and laughter stopped instantly. Hundreds of eyes were glued to the screen, staring at Mu Yangquan, whose face was now white as paper. Mu Yangquan froze. His pupils shook. His face was full of disbelief. He panicked completely. "Turn it off! Turn it off now! It's fake! It's doctored! He set me up!" He screamed like a madman. He completely lost it. His gentle, perfect mask shattered in front of everyone. I walked forward slowly. I held up a hard drive. My voice was clear and cold, cutting through the whole room. "Fake? I have the handwritten drafts. Over 20 revisions. Cloud timestamps. Original concept notes. All the evidence timestamps predate your submission. The contest platform has submission logs, IP records, file creation times. All open for verification anytime. You stole my work. You stole my future. You tried to steal my life. The evidence is solid. What excuse do you have now?" Every word was sharp. Every word was true. No way to argue. The judges' faces turned dark. They realized immediately they had been lied to and used. They spoke up on the spot, saying they would launch an official investigation. They would disqualify Mu Yangquan. They would put him on a dishonesty blacklist. They would permanently ban him from competing and from admission benefits. The guests started whispering. Mocking. Contemptuous. People were pointing and talking. Mu Yangquan's carefully built image, the gentle genius perfect young master, collapsed in that moment. Shattered completely. Mu Jinhong's face was dark and twisted. His veins bulged with anger. He was panicking. He rushed over and whispered, his voice desperate. "Sihung! Dad is begging you. Settle this privately. We'll give you compensation, shares, property, resources. Whatever you want. Just don't destroy his life in public." Su Mannion also cried and grabbed at me. She begged pathetically. "Son, please. Have mercy. He knows he was wrong. Give him one chance. Please. For the sake of family." "Family?" I laughed coldly. My eyes were freezing. When he stole my work and tried to take my future and ruin my life, did he think about family? When he schemed against me, did he ever leave me any room? Now that he's lost, you want to use family love to guilt-trip me? Why? I stepped aside. I avoided her grip. My stance was final. No mercy. Too late. He wanted my glory, my future, my life. Now he has to pay the price. Reputation ruined. Everything gone. I didn't give them any more room to beg. I submitted all the evidence to the competition committee, the education bureau, and the police. I filed official charges. Illegal entry into a residence. Copyright infringement. Malicious plagiarism. The aftermath hit like a storm. The official investigation results came out fast. Mu Yangquan's plagiarism was confirmed. All his honors were revoked. He was put in a lifetime integrity record. His path to higher education, awards, government jobs, and employment was permanently cut off. At the same time, I reopened Mu Yulu's old case of hiring thugs. Both cases went forward together. Online outrage exploded. The Mu family's fake kindness, favoritism, and their children's dirty deeds were exposed citywide. The Mu group's reputation crashed. Stock prices dropped off a cliff. Contracts were cancelled. Projects stopped. The money chain broke. The company was on the edge of bankruptcy. Decades of work fell apart in days. Mu Yangquan went through the legal process. He was convicted for illegal entry and copyright theft. The crime was serious. He got a criminal record. His reputation was ruined. His future was destroyed. Mu Yulu's old case of assault and causing trouble was reopened. Her record would stay forever. All her shortcuts in life were cut off. The spoiled little princess became the laughingstock of the whole city. In just a few days, the once glorious Mu family fell from grace. Their home was broken. Their business was in ruins. Everything was a mess. Mu Jinhong and Su Mannion, once high and mighty, now had white hair and haggard faces. They looked worn down and old. All their rich and glamorous image was gone. On a rainy evening, the two of them showed up at my rental building. They were soaked and muddy. They looked pitiful and broken. Su Mannion was crying. Her voice was hoarse. She begged with whatever strength she had left. "Sihing, we were wrong. We know we were wrong. We were biased. We were foolish. We failed you. Please drop the charges. Please forgive them. Blood is thicker than water. Don't destroy this family completely." Mu Jinhong dropped all his pride too. He looked tired and old. "Son, all of the Mu family's assets, shares, and properties can be transferred to you. Just please let Jingchen and Jinglu have a way out. Give the Mu family a way out." I stood at the entrance of the building, looking at these two worn-down people in front of me. I didn't feel any joy in revenge. Only deep coldness and calm. I spoke slowly. My voice was light, but every word cut deep. "For over 10 years, you never cared about me. You never gave me any warmth. When I was struggling in the mud, you were in your mansion, letting your kids spend and enjoy everything. When I was schemed against, bullied, and pushed into the sea to die, you sided with the bad people. You twisted the truth. You enjoyed everything that should have been mine. You let them step on me and steal from me over and over. Now that you're facing the consequences and your world is falling apart, you suddenly remember I'm your biological son. You want to use blood and money to buy everything back. That's a joke. I don't want the Mu family's money. I don't want your businesses. I don't want your late, fake guilt and love. I only want justice. The bad seeds they planted, they have to eat the rotten fruit. That's what they deserve. No one can save them from that. From the moment you let them hurt me over and over, our blood tie was already broken for good." My voice was calm, but it cut off every connection between us for good. Mu Jinhong and Su Mannion collapsed. They fell to the ground. Their faces showed total despair. They had lost all hope. I didn't look at them again. I turned and walked upstairs. I closed the door. I shut out all the noise and pain. After the banquet scene, the contest committee got all my original drafts, cloud timestamps, and surveillance footage. They put out their final investigation report quickly. Mu Yangquan's plagiarism was confirmed. He was disqualified. He was put on the competition honesty blacklist. With all the evidence, I also filed a police report for illegal entry and data theft. At the same time, I resubmitted the old case of Mu Yulu hiring thugs. Both cases were handled together. The Mu family was in complete chaos. Mu Yangquan's carefully built image as a young genius collapsed. His friends and teachers all distanced themselves from him. Mu Yulu's public security case got reopened. Because of the clear intent to harm, she got a formal record. Her college early admission was blocked. Both scandals broke one after another. Online criticism was everywhere. The Mu Group's stock kept falling. Business partners pulled back. Several big deals were put on hold. Inside the company, people were restless. Mu Jinhong and his wife tried every connection to negotiate a settlement. But they hit dead ends everywhere. In the end, they came to me at my rental apartment. It was a rainy day. They stood downstairs, soaked. They no longer looked like the wealthy, powerful heads of a big family. Su Manyan's eyes were swollen. Her face was tired. When she saw me come down, she rushed over. "Sihing, we're sorry. For everything in the past, we failed to discipline our kids. Please, just drop the charges." Her voice was raspy. "Jingchen's life is already ruined. Jinglu has learned her lesson too. Do you really have to destroy them completely? We are your biological parents. Blood ties can't be cut." Mu Jinhong's face was ashen. His usual strong attitude was gone. His voice was almost begging. "If you settle, the Mu family can transfer some shares to you. Properties, money, whatever you want, we'll try to give it. Just let this be our way of making up for all those lost years. Let them go." Rainwater dripped from the eaves onto the ground. I stood on the steps. I looked at these two biological parents calmly. I remembered the cold ocean in my past life. The suffocating despair. I remembered Mu Yangquan stealing my life and scheming against me step by step. I remembered Mu Yulu's open hatred and her hiring thugs to hurt me. I remembered the parents' constant favoritism and indifference. Time after time, they blamed me for everything. Blood was never a chain for moral blackmail. They never gave me a single day of protection. Yet they wanted to use blood to force me to let go of all the pain. "Destroy them completely?" I said softly. "When Mu Yangquan stole my manuscript to take away my admission slot, he didn't leave me any way out. When Mu Yulu paid thugs to ambush me outside school, she didn't care about family either. Back then, you didn't step in to tell them to back off." Su Manyan's lips trembled. "But they've already paid the price. The price should match the crime." My eyes were sharp. Mu Yangquan plagiarized and broke into someone's home. Mu Yulu hired people to assault someone. They chose all of that themselves. I won't drop the charges. I won't accept any shares or properties from the Mu family. I don't want those things." Mu Jinhong looked up sharply. "Are you really going to cut this blood tie completely? From the moment you let your kids hurt me again and again, the family tie was already gone." I didn't keep talking with them. I turned and went back into the stairwell. I closed the unit door. I shut out the rain and their shouting. After that, the court and police followed the legal process. Mu Yangquan got his legal punishment. His path to higher education was permanently blocked. Mu Yulu's record stayed with her. Her choices in life would always be limited. The Mu family business took a huge hit. It never recovered its former glory. Months later, the college entrance exam came. I relied on my own ability. I got into a top university. On the day I left for school, I looked back at this city one last time. I claim my own glory. I live only for myself.